Breaking on 4 News Now at 6, former President Donald Trump found guilty by a Manhattan jury. Trump's reaction coming up.
And the verdict is in for the Idaho Doomsday Cult leader for killing his ex-wife and current wife's 2 kids, when he is expected to be sentenced.
And you'll want to cover those plants once again because freeze warnings and frost advisories are in effect tonight. I'll let you know which areas are most vulnerable in your first alert forecast. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
For the first time in U.S. history, a former president has been convicted of felony crimes. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dias. A jury convicting Donald Trump on 34 counts of falsifying business records. He can be sentenced to up to 4 years per count, which would likely run concurrently instead of consecutively. So it'd be for a total of 4 years in prison. The minimum sentence he faces is probation or conditional discharge. We'll have much more on this historic verdict for you tonight at 6:30.
We are also tracking 2 high-profile murder cases in Idaho, one involving key evidence in the University of Idaho murders case, the other a guilty verdict for the man accused of killing his former wife and his current wife's 2 youngest children.
Let's go down to Marissa Rio. And Marissa, the state argued Chad Daybell was driven by money, power, and sex to commit these murders.
That's right, Kirsten and Derek. This is an extremely complicated case going all the way back to the summer of 2019 when Lori Vallow moved with her 2 kids, 7-year-old JJ Vallow and 16-year-old Tylee Ryan, to Salem, Idaho to be with Daybell. Daybell at the time ran a small publishing company with his wife Tammy Daybell, where he released several doomsday-focused books. In October of that same year, Tammy Daybell passed away. According to her obituary, she died in her sleep of natural causes, but authorities began to grow suspicious when Daybell married Vallow 2 weeks later. Police also began searching for the 2 kids in November after relatives raised concerns. The search for JJ and Tylee quickly made headlines across the country. During the search, police say the Daybells lied about the children's whereabouts before leaving Idaho. Their bodies weren't found until June of 2020 in a shallow grave on a property belonging to Daybell. Both Daybell and Vallow were charged with murder almost a year later in May of 2021. Chad Daybell's trial lasted for almost 2 months and featured testimony from dozens of witnesses. Prosecutors also showed cell phone messages between Daybell and Vallow, with one reading that there is a plan being orchestrated for the children sent shortly after Tammy Daybell had died. Daybell will be back in court tomorrow for the start of his sentencing process. As for Vallow, she is currently serving a life sentence for the deaths of her 2 children. In studio tonight, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
All right, Marissa, thank you. Also in court today, attorneys for suspected killer Bryan Kohberger tried to compel more evidence to be handed over that would support his alibi. Kohberger is accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in a shared off-campus house in November of 2022. The alibi, as lawyers have maintained, is that he was driving around stargazing. The defense grilled a detective on the case over surveillance video tracking a white Hyundai Elantra believed to be driven by the killer. A cell phone geolocation expert testified today that he believes up to 3% of the data from Kohberger's phone has not been turned over to his lawyers. Another request from the defense was for the federal grand jury subpoenas. A second hearing that was closed to the public was held this afternoon, featuring 2 more witnesses who discuss investigative genetic genealogy.
Frost advisories and a freeze warning are back in the forecast tonight.
And that means you'll want to cover up your plants once again. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to see which areas are more vulnerable than others.
Well, with clear skies, light winds, we are going to see those temperatures drop again tonight. And we have frost advisories in effect for the area shaded in blue. That does include Spokane, not Coeur d'Alene, a little bit warmer there, but all the way up through North Idaho and a good chunk of the Columbia Basin. In the dark purple shaded area, that is a freeze warning where temperatures are going to be dropping below freezing. And really, you'll want to focus on taking care of your plants in Deer Park, Chewelah, and Colville. Here's a look at this morning's lows across the region. I've talked to a lot of viewers that are happy that they took our advice and covered things up. We got down into the 20s in Bayview, Deer Park, Colville, Chewelah. As we get into Omak, a little bit warmer, and we were above freezing through Pullman, Sandpoint, and Coeur d'Alene, as well as Spokane. But some of the more sensitive annuals and tender plants this time of year do not like being this cold. So covering up your plants again tonight is a good idea. Temperatures around the region tomorrow morning will be in the 30s in most locations once again, and we will be down around freezing in some of the familiar locations, Blanchard, Spirit Lake, up around Priest Lake. But we warm up quickly. We are heading into the 70s. 70 is our average high. Blue skies, sunshine, and light winds. A beautiful start to the weekend. I'll let you know how the weekend is going to play out in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, your takeout order is going to look a little bit different starting next week.
Styrofoam containers will soon be banned in Washington, and local businesses are feeling the impact. Starting June 1st, restaurants and other businesses will not be allowed to use styrofoam cups, coolers, trays, bowls, or containers. This is all part of a 2021 law that's trying to get rid of plastic that becomes trash and litter. The owners at Aloha Island Grill in Spokane say they have been prepping for this change for years now, but it's going to impact their menu. With a few days to spare, they're still considering the cost of alternative to-go packaging.
It's going to have a higher cost increase for us. It's going to affect not only us, but also our customers.
The Department of Ecology says there are some exceptions, including egg cartons and packaging for raw, uncooked meat and fish. Well, the next phase of construction on Washington Street in downtown Spokane begins next week.
This time, crews will be focusing on the bridge that goes through Riverfront Park. Starting on Monday, all southbound lanes will be closed and only one northbound lane will be open. Drivers should use Division, Monroe, or Ash during this construction, which is expected to last until August. During that time, crews will be working to replace expansion joints and the deck overlay. Well, the Moses Lake School District announced it's laying off an additional 85 positions. It's the latest move to try to dig itself out of a $20 million budget crisis. The newest round impacts classified staff across several departments. Classified staff are people who work in a school district but are not licensed teachers. This can include paraeducators, clerical and administrative staff, transportation services, food and nutrition services, and custodians. Acting Superintendent Carol Lewis releasing a statement reading, "We value the contributions of our classified staff and recognize the impact this will have on their lives and our schools and students. Unfortunately, these steps are essential to ensure the financial sustainability of our organization."
Now, several factors have led to this budget crisis, including a failed levy. The biggest is because of an $11 million accounting error. A previous round of layoffs included around 100 teachers losing their jobs. This is the fresh new look at Spokane Airport's newest concourse. This expansion is the first phase of a $150 million renovation at the airport, and the project was an expansion of Concourse C on the west side of the terminal.
This development means new gates, more flights, and expansion that's integral to the region's continued growth. Jordan Smith was at that event today and joins us with what new travelers should expect to see.
Yeah, welcome to the Concourse C West expansion. This is phase one of the airport's largest expansion in its history. Now, this place comes with a lot of bells and whistles. As you mentioned, new gates, new flights. There's a lot more that comes with it. Go on, let's take a tour.
It's a great day for Spokane International Airport and for our community.
This is the new look Spokane Airport. The 19-month expansion project on Concourse C adds 3 new gates and a few more flights for passengers. A helpful addition after the airport welcomed a record 4.13 million travelers last year. That number expected to be 6 million by 2030, instrumental to the growth of our local economy.
Most economic development happens with just in a few miles of an airport. So if you're not investing in your airport, you're not investing in your economy.
And while you're waiting for your flight, you can munch on some food at the plethora of local restaurants setting up shop. Local options like Melts and the Iron Goat will be ready to serve travelers.
The small businesses from the community, to bring them out here and make them part of the airport is really important because we're trying to be a reflection of the community.
There's comfortable new seating options and modernized restrooms, along with other state-of-the-art features. And one of the cooler parts of this concourse is one you may not even think about. It's the windows. These use smart technology to either brighten or dim how much light is coming through based on the weather conditions outside. The goal is to move the current Alaska Airlines gates to this concourse. According to Crowder, people should be able to board flights out of this new concourse sometime in June. And crews will begin construction on the east part of this terminal this summer. That's expected to be completed next year. When it's all said and done, this terminal will add 6 new gates and a whole bunch of new flights. Reporting from Concourse C tonight, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
All right. Well, the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department traded their engines for rappelling gear.
How this high-rise training will be used to help them better respond to emergencies. And a special graduation for a group of preschoolers at Ferris High School. We'll introduce you to the teenage students who have spent months helping these kids prepare for kindergarten.
Plus, an executive at McDonald's wants to clear the air about so-called discounts the company promised. Next on 4 News Now at 6. Those stories and more coming up on 4 News Now at 6.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
Shop us and you will see no one saves you more green than the Green Team at Jennifer's Auto Sales and Service.
Our 30th anniversary celebration continues at Missisquoi Casino Hotel. Play your favorite games with your Sun Club card to win your share of $22,000 cash and one of several Traeger grills. Learn more at Missisquoi.com.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Plus, 97% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Drive new Subaru models with 2.9% financing for 72 months at AutoNation Subaru.
We owe everything to our troops, past and present, for their honor, courage, and dedication. As a token of our appreciation, 4 News Now and Global Credit Union are encouraging you to once again wear red on Fridays.
Join us in recognizing our troops and their families for allowing us the freedom we enjoy every day as Americans. Stop into any Global branch to pick up a red pin and show your support.
And then wear red every Friday from now until September 11th.
Wear Red Fridays, brought to you by 4 News Now and Global Credit Union.
The Medellin Falls Bigfoot Festival returns to Pend Oreille County June 15th and 16th. Discover the rich history, folklore, and mystery. From Sasquatch-themed crafts to Bigfoot merchandise, a 5K fun run, and plenty of food. This event is guaranteed to leave you amazed and entertained. Hear from the county's experts about their Bigfoot sightings or sign up for the Presenters Dinner and talk with them firsthand. The Medellin Falls Bigfoot Festival. For tickets and information, go to mf-bigfoot.com.
The spring clearance sale is on at R&R RV Center in Liberty Lake and North Spokane. Spring into action with R&R's largest discounts ever. Class B camper vans up to $83,000 off. Montana fifth wheels up to $43,000 off. Cougar's #1 selling fifth wheel floor plan priced at only $49,990. Shop now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake or North Spokane. Online at rnrrv.com.
From R&R RV, your RV superstore.
Missisquoi Casino Hotel is open. Stay with us, relax and rejuvenate while taking advantage of our amazing amenities, including a restaurant and lounge open to the public daily starting at 3 p.m. north of Spokane on Highway 395.
A lot of people say that prices at fast food restaurants are approaching the prices that you pay at sit-down restaurants.
Some companies, including McDonald's, have promised new discounts. But now, a top executive at McDonald's is clarifying a few things. ABC's Andrew Dimbert explains.
When the deal's this good, you can wild out every day.
This morning, the president of McDonald's with a message to America. Our prices aren't that bad. His message coming after reports of a Big Mac meal costing $18. Company president Joe Erlinger saying, "We have seen poorly sourced reports that McDonald's has raised prices significantly beyond inflationary rates. This is inaccurate." Erlinger says that pricey Big Mac meal was only at one location near Greenwich, Connecticut. He says the average price nationwide is $9.29. Still, that's a 20% 27% increase since before the pandemic. And when it comes to the overall menu, Erlinger says prices are up roughly 40% due to supply chain issues and wages. In response to consumer backlash, the company has announced a new $5 value meal this summer. Burger King then following suit. Meanwhile, Chipotle is also feeling the heat.
This was like $12, $13. I only get 1, 2, actually like 4 pieces of chicken.
Firing back at critics online who claim their bowls are a little barren. An executive now insisting there have been no changes in Chipotle's portion sizes. Backlash over high prices also extending to major clothing, grocery, and pharmacy chains. Walgreens has announced it's cutting prices on 1,300 items, joining Walmart, Target, and Amazon, who've announced similar discounts. Back to McDonald's, the company president acknowledged it must remain laser-focused on value and affordability. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Well, if you're growing your own food, here is a tip. Lynn Nordhagen shared this photo from last night in Charleroi, where they got down into the 20s. She and her daughter Emily covered up all their zinnias, about 60 of those tender plants, with buckets and boxes. And I never thought about doing this. You don't need anything fancy. I bet you've got everything you need at home to cover up your plants tonight, and you'll need to do it one more time. I'll tell you all about it after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
PAR, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
Have you or a loved one been in a piano-related accident? These scales of justice are here to fight for you.
Avoid slapstick injuries and watch Tune In With Me.
Weekdays on MeTV 4.2.
GMA's surprised people across the country, helping find thousands in unclaimed money.
This really is a big check.
Yeah! And this summer, we're at it again.
That's incredible.
Because nothing's better than hearing you say,
"Show me the money!"
on Good Morning America.
Chill or grill on a new deck from PAR this season. Get a free Makita Bluetooth radio or portable pellet grill with a qualifying PAR deck package purchase of wood, TimberTech, or Trex. Visit par.com for details. PAR, go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
When you have moderate to severe eczema, it's okay to show off. With Dupixent, show off your clearer skin and less itch. Because you have plenty of reasons to show off your skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, you can stay ahead of your eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your skin from within. Many adults saw 90% clearer skin. Some even achieved long-lasting clearer skin and fast itch relief after first dose. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Everyone's itching to win Northern Quest's Scratch and Win GMC Sierra giveaway. With $520,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs, it's only natural. But instead of a log, tree, or communal bush, all you need is your Camus Rewards card. Play daily to earn scratch tickets good for reward play, bonus points, hotel stays, and maybe a brand new GMC Sierra pickup. That's an itch we'd all like to scratch.
Well, that was a lot of Amazon boxes before the break.
Do what you got to do to cover your plants and protect those ones. All right, we're going to send it back over to Chris Crocker now for a look at what else is ahead of us in the forecast.
And meanwhile, we do have some questions for Lynn after showing that picture about all those boxes. But her zinnias are in good shape. And I do encourage you, especially if you live in one of those spots where you know it gets a little bit colder at your house than elsewhere around the region, to cover things up tonight. We have clear skies, light winds, and temperatures were running below average for highs. We're going to have no trouble dropping into a frosty morning in spots. A warm, sunny afternoon, however, and that'll be our last night for a while, maybe a long while, where we have to worry about frost. A dry weekend, and then a present for your plants coming on Monday, a good beneficial rain. But tomorrow, It is just Chamber of Commerce weather, right in the comfort zone. Blue skies, sunshine, light winds. We'll be in the 60s by noon. That chill of the morning long gone by the time you're headed out for a noontime break. And we're headed up to a high of 70 degrees, which is exactly average. And just a beautiful day. 70s throughout most of eastern Washington. Pullman an exception at 68. 68 at St. Mary's. Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint, 70 in Bonners Ferry, 68 tomorrow in Kellogg. As I mentioned, overnight lows will be a concern for one more night, 37 in Spokane, and then we're back up around average through the 7-day forecast in the 40s and 50s. This white line is our average high. We, as I mentioned, have some needed rain on the way for your plants. Our chance of precipitation, 0 Friday and Saturday, goes up a little bit on Sunday, but that's because that rain is coming in late Sunday night into a very nice Monday full of rain, and then that tapers off back down to 10% on Tuesday. We are going to dry out, and it's a good thing we're going to get some moisture because it looks like we have a prolonged period of dry and warm weather. Here's a preliminary look at some of the predicted rainfall totals from that system on Monday, and they are impressive. But then our June 7th through June 13th outlook, that's 8 to 14 days. Below average precipitation, and my goodness, we are right in the bullseye of above average temperatures. And you can see that starting to develop in the 7-day forecast. We'll stay about average through the weekend, rain late Sunday into Monday, and then a warming and drying trend. We are in the 80s by this time next week. Kirsten?
80s sounds like it's time to go swimming.
Yes.
If you ask me.
Yes.
And hey, in Cheney, a brand new aquatic center is a big step closer to reality. The city council has just approved a construction bid for the project costing over $11 million. It will feature 2 pools, a lazy river, and a water slide at the site of the old aquatic center on 7th and Cedar. Construction will start in June and is expected to be done in May of next year.
Well, an everyday household item could soon be getting a high-tech upgrade.
Stick around with us for about 10 more minutes. We'll tell you how it's meant to help your kids heal when they get an owie.
And as we head to a break, we want to celebrate another graduating senior with a chance to win them a $50 gift card. Meet Nolan Cope from Central Valley High School. Not only did he play baseball all 4 years, he was also heavily involved in the school's music program. His family tells us he was on the marching band, pep band, and symphony jazz band. They say no matter what he did, he was full of Bear pride. You can celebrate your student and enter them in this contest by submitting their photo online at kxly.com/class of 2024.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
This Memorial Day weekend, are you settling in for an all-day movie marathon? You're not lazy, you're comfortable.
Relaxing away the afternoon, you're not lazy, you're comfortable.
Lazy Boy makes getting comfortable easy with contoured cut foam for arms and seats and a layered foam system for cushion cores.
And Kerner Furniture makes shopping for Lazy Boy easy with our price match guarantee and great selection.
Come into Kerner Furniture today during our Memorial Day sale.
When you relax in a Lazy Boy recliner from Kerner Furniture, you're not lazy, you're just comfortable.
Chevy gets it. I want it, and I can afford it can be one and the same. With Chevy Trax, a car and driver 10 best. The rugged Chevy Trailblazer. And Chevy Colorado, Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Chevy, all you want is all within reach. Connected by OnStar. Get 1.9% financing on select popular Chevy SUVs when you finance with GM Financial. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
It's been another great year for our Diamonds and Dreams program. Gary Middle School, the recipient of this year's work, new backstops, new safety fences, and of course, the new field. The 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
What does RV stand for? Recreational vehicle or ruined vacation? At Click It RV, we want you to have a fun, safe camping experience. So for the month of May, get to any Click It RV store and get a professional propane leak test, tire pressure check, wheel bearings, roof, slide and battery test. And all inspections are free because we want you and yours to have a safe camping season. Thinking of upgrading? Check out the used selection of new and used top brands like Grand Design, Rockwood, Flagstaff, Winnebago, and more. So get to a Click It RV store near you for a free inspection and keep your family safe.
Where's my husband?
He's on a ventilator.
They're saying you may already be lost.
The 911 season finale tonight on ABC.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
Try it today for only $14.95 plus get free shipping. Visit Plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
4 News Now is brought to you by Papa Murphy's.
Easy, super easy. It's easier than the way we did it.
Well, today was not a typical day for the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department. Instead of water hoses and big yellow jackets, Coeur d'Alene firefighters harnessed up and rappelled down the side of a high-rise building.
Marissa Rio gives us a look into Coeur d'Alene Fire's high-angle rescue training.
The Coeur d'Alene Fire Department says they need to prepare for anything, even if that means saving someone from the 15th floor of a high-rise building. As you can see, just below me are 2 firefighters dangling from the side of McEwen Terrace, a condo tower in downtown Coeur d'Alene.
We're doing a simulated rescue of a window washer who either had a medical emergency or some sort of equipment malfunction.
While Captain Jack Beaker says these types of calls are rare, the training is important.
It's a situation that could happen with the high-rise buildings we have downtown, and we just want our folks to be ready to respond to that call. So we're doing some training, practicing that, and make sure everybody's ready to go.
And ready to go they were. After buckling into all their safety gear, the rescue crews grabbed their ropes and took turns going over the edge of the 15th floor.
It's a little bit stressful, just the moment of going over the edge.
But when duty calls, firefighters are up for the challenge. The drill was done in pairs of 2s, so after the fake victim descended, another firefighter would go down and rescue him. To do so, he had to physically detach him from his rope system and safely put him onto his. Then they rappelled down together.
Up, you lose a little bit of the mechanical advantage lifting up. Ideally, it would be above you and you could pull down. But since it's below us and you have to pull up, it's just arm strength, so that's a little bit tough.
Besides a window washer emergency, could firefighters use this technique to save people in the case of a fire?
Fortunately, most of our high-rise buildings are newer construction, have sprinkler systems and good stairways and all those things. So that's our preferred method of getting people out of these buildings. But it is possible that we may need to use ropes.
While Coeur d'Alene Fire says they often practice this drill on their own tower, it was nice that McEwen Terrace allowed them to train here so crews could practice somewhere they were unfamiliar with. In Coeur d'Alene, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Very brave. Well, around the Northwest, Boeing is planning sweeping changes. That's according to a new safety report meant to reassure travelers and industry regulators that its planes are safe to fly. Its new strategy is designed to improve aircraft quality after a series of incidents involving its planes, including a door plug blowout during an Alaska Airlines flight in January. Boeing has taken responsibility for the blowout and says it's already taking action, including providing clearer instructions during assembly, making training improvements, and adding more tools.
Boeing is now required to have a mandatory safety management system, which will ensure a structured, repeatable, systematic approach to identify hazards and manage risks.
The Federal Aviation Administration will continue to monitor Boeing closely. This may be one of Boeing's last major milestones under CEO David Calhoun, who announced after the Alaska Airlines blowout that he and other senior managers would leave the company this year. We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30.
Including tips on how you and your kids can break the habit of endlessly scrolling on your phones. Plus, former President Donald Trump's reaction to becoming the first president to be convicted of a crime after the break. Stay with us.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
You're feeding it.
I will, I promise. Thanks to our Premier Rewards Visa credit card from ICCU, we earned enough cash back to stock up on puppy supplies.
But we don't have a puppy.
They're very convincing children.
Who has the deals?
Furniture Row!
Who has the deals?
Furniture Row!
The Memorial Day super sale was so great, we just had to extend it.
And with trucks still rolling in, the savings keep getting better and better. The more you buy,
the more you save. Save $100 for every 1,000 you spend.
check out special purchases while they last. And financing? We're talking 6 years, no interest. But don't wait. The extended Memorial Day Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
40 years ago, an idea was born. 40 years ago, excitement emerged. Now, 40 years later, all trails lead to all sport. Side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles, watercraft, and pontoon boats. Who has it all? All Sport has it all. Polaris, Honda, BRP, Can-Am, KTM, Indian, and more. How will you spend the next 40 years? Make 2024 the best summer ever. Join our local team in celebrating 40 years in business. Have it all at All Sport, just off I-90 in Liberty Lake.
We invite you to experience excellence. Choose George Gee Kia Spokane. Shop us and you'll see we have
the best team in the Pacific Northwest.
George Gee Kia Spokane is locally owned and family operated. Located in Liberty Lake, just off I-90. At George Gee Kia Spokane, our mission is to exceed your expectations. We look forward to helping you find your new Kia. Visit the George Gee Kia team in Liberty Lake off I-90 or online anytime at SpokaneKia.com.
Next, ET, our Jennifer Love Hewitt ET retrospective.
Let's end it here. This is so good.
Untold stories from Love's Hollywood career.
This is why there was tissue.
Next, ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
We are here in Israel, a nation at war. The worst attack in 50 years. Israel waging a fierce bombardment of Gaza.
When it matters most, America turns to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, we are continuing to follow breaking news out of New York City, where a Manhattan jury found former President Donald Trump guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records.
Mr. Trump maintaining his innocence before going back to Trump Towers. ABC's Rena Roy has details.
Donald Trump returning to Trump Tower tonight as the first U.S. president to be convicted of felony crimes. Jurors delivering the verdict on 34 counts of falsifying business records in the hush money payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Trump reacting to the verdict.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. But the real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here.
Last year, Trump pleaded not guilty to the felony charges brought by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, the case tied to that $130,000 payment his former attorney Michael Cohen made to Daniels just before the 2016 presidential election in exchange for her silence about her alleged sexual encounter with Trump. Prosecutors saying when Trump reimbursed Cohen, he purposely disguised it as a legal expense to hide the damaging information from voters. Trump denies that encounter with Daniels and maintains he did nothing wrong. The trial began in April. Prosecutors calling 20 witnesses to the stand, including Cohen and Daniels. The defense calling 2. Trump declining to testify in his own defense. Bragg reacting to the verdict.
While this defendant may be unlike any other in American history, we arrived at this trial and ultimately today at this verdict in the same manner as every other case that comes through the courtroom doors, by following the facts and the law, and doing so without fear or favor.
Crowds gathered outside the Manhattan courthouse erupting when the verdict was announced. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Your everyday Band-Aids could soon be getting a high-tech upgrade. Take a look at this bandage. It's filled with tiny sensors that can detect how a wound is healing. So they're called smart bandages, and some will even allow doctors to remotely dispense treatments.
The doctor can give a little zap of electricity that can help promote healing. The doctor can open a tiny little valve in the bandage to release some kind of an ointment or a cream.
Researchers say it will be a game changer for people with diabetes, which often stalls wound healing. Many smart bandages have shown promising results in lab tests, but they're still years from hitting the market.
There are for sure some technical challenges, but really when I talk to experts, what they talk about is more the financial challenges. You have to convince Medicare, you have to convince insurance companies to pay for this. You have to figure out how it's going to be paid for. Really, that's the big challenge ahead.
One bandage is being tested on people, which is expected to take about 18 months. It would then need FDA approval. When you see that close-up of it, really does look futuristic.
It is pretty interesting, right? And then how much does it cost and all that? There's a lot of questions, for sure.
And some viewers are thinking Chris probably needs to get in on that study because I am the road rash queen.
When you have your doctor on speed dial so they can zap you with a little more.
No kidding. I go through a lot of Band-Aids. Oh, well, and probably will for the next few days because we have some beautiful weather and I'll be out there in it. Here's a look at the live view of Spokane right now. What a beautiful evening out there. Just absolutely stunning. A little on the cool side. And it's a different story in Sandpoint. We have a few more clouds. It's a little grayer. You'll have some sunshine tomorrow. But we have had just a few isolated showers passing by. I've been watching that camera. Never did see the streets getting wet around Sandpoint. But you may have had a sprinkle or two at your house in Bonner County and boundary counties as those showers pass by. Temperatures for highs today were running below average by about 5 degrees in most locations. 66 in Spokane, 64 in Coeur d'Alene. But we did have some cooler weather in Colville, Bonners Ferry, and Sandpoint. It was only 61 in Pullman and St. Mary's today. We'll be warmer tomorrow after a cold start to the day. Temperatures down in the 30s around the region, and we do have that frost advisory and the freeze warning. It's taken me a while in my meteorological journey to realize that even if the temperatures do not get down to 32, it does not mean your plants are going to survive the night. And I'll explain why that is coming up later in the news, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Do not drive. That's the message Nissan is giving drivers of nearly 84,000 vehicles until they get their airbags fixed. Their Takata airbags are part of an open recall, but owners have not had them repaired. The airbags can explode in even relatively minor crashes. The vehicles impacted include certain 2002 to 2006 Sentras, 2002 to 2004 Pathfinders, and 2002 to 2003 Infiniti QX4s. Nissan and its Infiniti subsidiary will provide free towing and repairs. More than 24 people in the U.S. have been killed by the airbags, and hundreds more were allegedly injured.
After testing it out in just 12 states, the Internal Revenue Service says it's expanding its free online tax filing program in 2025. That means Direct File will be available to taxpayers with certain simple federal returns in all 50 states. The Treasury Secretary says the pilot program was a success. More than 140,000 people used the new program. So for next year's expansion of Direct File, $75 million has been budgeted, but that could change depending on how many people use it.
Graduation season is in full swing in the Inland Northwest, and today a group of students graduated from Ferris High School.
But they weren't high school students, they were actually preschoolers. Bronte Sorotsky shows us this sweet program that made it all possible.
As preschoolers from Ferris High School's preschool program walked the stage to graduate from preschool into kindergarten, they couldn't have done any of it without the high school helpers guiding them through.
She realized I was really good with working with kids and I could have a future in it.
For about 2 hours a day, these students become interns in Miss Grove's class.
Either go work with the kids or I can do background stuff like make sure all the kids' papers are in line, make sure their alphabet books, and make sure there's lessons for the next day.
They've had to take classes in social and emotional development in infants and young kids, plus earn CPR and first aid qualification. By the time they graduate, they'll have all of that knowledge, plus actual college credits from Spokane Falls Community College that they can use to pursue a career in teaching or a similar field.
It's a head start in college credits, and then it's also, you know, the benefit of career and technical ed is that whatever we have them in, they're gaining employability skills, they're learning how to be responsible.
This program doesn't just benefit high school students, but families looking for budget-friendly preschool options as well.
It's like $15 a month, so it's really open to anybody in our community that wants to.
And on Thursday, this group of preschoolers that students like UV Garcia and others have been working hard to teach marked the end of their time in preschool and the start to kindergarten.
I'm just really excited for them and I can't wait to see where the future leads them.
Miss Grove's roster for next year is full, but says she's working on opening up a wait list. If you're interested in signing up your high schooler or preschooler for this program, that information will be up on our website, KXLY.com. Reporting in Spokane, Bronte Saratsky, 4 News Now.
And I'm looking it up right now. $15 a month, that's crazy. Hey, well, Alex is here to talk to us. We're only a few months away from the start of college football season.
And for the WSU Cougars, they'll have a very different looking schedule compared to years past.
Yeah, while fans are used to seeing their team play on the Pac-12 Network or ESPN, that's not going to be the case this season. Coming up in sports, we're going to see where you'll be able to catch a lot of the Coug games this fall and why you may need to buy a new streaming service exclusively for the Apple Cup.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
My advice to all the fathers out there, they grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Arby's Deluxe Burger. Have you ever seen such a well-crafted burger? Oh, Arby's Big Cheesy Bacon Burger. Have you ever seen such a... Arby's, we have the meat.
Everyone's itching to win Northern Quest's Scratch and Win GMC Sierra giveaway. With $520,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs, it's only natural. But instead of a log, tree, or communal bush, all you need is your Camus Rewards card. Play daily to earn scratch tickets good for reward play, bonus points, hotel stays, and maybe a brand new GMC Sierra pickup. That's an itch we'd all like to scratch.
Hi, I'm Doug Trudeau with Trudeau's Marina. Summer's just around the corner. It's time to get out on the water. We have the most popular boats in the industry, premium crafted Sea Ray boats, family fun Bayliner boats, including the Element Series, VR Series, and DX Series boats. Heyday surf boats, great way to get on the water and go surfing. Crestliner fishing boats, and new this year, Princecraft pontoons. So if you're in the market for a boat, come in and see us at Trudeau's Marina in downtown Spokane.
BECU wants to help you celebrate your dad this June with the fantastic Father's Day contest. Send us a photo of your father and tell us the impact he's had on your life. He'll be entered for a chance to win a $75 gift card to Agers Meats. Fantastic Fathers, brought to you by BECU.
What does RV stand for? Recreational vehicle or ruined vacation? At Click-It RV, we want you to have a fun, safe camping experience. So for the month of May, get to any Click-It RV store and get a professional propane leak test, tire pressure check, wheel bearings, roof, slide and battery test. And all inspections are free because we want you and yours to have a safe camping season. Thinking of upgrading? Check out their used selection of new and used top brands like Grand Design, Rockwood, Flagstaff, Winnebago, and more. So get to a Click-It RV store near you for a free inspection and keep your family safe.
Arby's has let other burger joints have their little fun. Playtime is over. The meat professionals will take it from here. Arby's, we have the meat.
Well, if you can believe it, we are less than 100 days away from the start of the college football season. And for the Washington State Cougars, they'll be wading into uncharted waters after the Pac-12 is seemingly dismantled in the offseason. But they will still be playing 12 games just like every other team in the country. And today, we learned the kickoff times and television locations for a number of their matchups. On September 7th, they're going to welcome in Texas Tech to Pullman for the first time. That's going to be broadcast on Fox. A week later, the Apple Cup at Lumen Field in Seattle won't be on any linear TV. Instead, that game will be exclusively on Peacock, so make sure you buy that subscription now. And then looking ahead to the away games against the Mountain West opponents, you'll be able to catch those on either Fox or FS1. Now, the 116th Apple Cup going to look a lot different this year with Washington departing for the Big Ten. And despite the game being played in a nearly 70,000-seat stadium, the ticket prices are through the roof, with the cheapest starting around $100. That's just to get in. So it's easy to see why fans would be turned away from that. But despite the cost, interim athletic director Ann McCoy says she still wants fans to come out and support the athletes representing Washington State University, no matter the conference or the opponent.
Tickets at Lumen may be more expensive than our fans are used to paying, but some of those fans on the west side won't be traveling, so they're only paying for a cost of a ticket. Or the people that are, in Pullman or traveling from the west side to Pullman for our home games, it's a great experience and a great weekend, to be on the Palouse and to watch great football, or to be, in Bowler watching volleyball, or in Beasley with basketball, and on and on and on. I mean, it's, to me, I would just encourage people to continue to come support what they love.
Now, Julian Mindensone and myself sat down with McCoy earlier today, and you'll be able to catch more of that interview in the upcoming week on 4 News Now. Now, staying with Washington State, today the men's basketball team took a huge step towards filling out their roster for the upcoming season as Eastern Washington forward Cedric Coward announced his commitment to the program. Coward will be reunited with head coach David Riley, who recruited him from Division III Willamette a couple of seasons ago. Now, this past year, Coward played and started in all 32 games for the Eagles, averaging more than 15 points and 6 rebounds a game, and he was named first team All-Big Sky. And we're also a few months away from the Spokane Zephyrs' inaugural season in the USL Super League. Today, we learned the opponents for their 7 home games this season. They're going to open up on August 17th against Fort Lauderdale FC across the street at One Spokane Stadium. But the weather most likely won't be nearly as nice for their regular season finale on October 27th against Tampa Bay FC. Now, Derek, coming back to the Apple Cup and Peacock. Now, I think it's a little ironic that Washington, one of their excuses for leaving the Pac-12 was they didn't want to be part of that streaming package with Apple, but it looks like almost every game in the near future is going to be exclusively on streaming in some way.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if that all had to happen. We could have just had the Apple deal, right?
It's almost like they didn't tell all the truth.
Maybe.
More questions.
Yeah. All right, we are all guilty of it, you know, just endlessly scrolling on our phones.
It can be easy to lose track of time. Jacqueline Lee is with ABC, and she has tips on how you and your kids can break that bad habit.
Many of us won't go anywhere without our phones, but it may be a problem if you can't be without it.
More than half of Americans say that they are addicted to their devices, according to a study from reviews.org. And people spend an average about 4.5 hours on their phones every day, and that's gone up over 30% from 2022.
CNET's Abrar Al-Hidi says you may have an unhealthy relationship with your phone if you are constantly checking it, even when you're out with family and friends, and if you tend to reach for your phone instead of processing difficult feelings.
There's a temporary high of getting likes or posting something or consuming something, but it hasn't changed anything about your reality, and that's what people need to really focus on sometimes.
If you're looking to break the habit, Al-Hidi says to start by looking at your phone's screen time tools.
That'll tell you how much time you're spending on your device. That's a really good wake-up call and reality check.
You can use focus modes available on both Android and iPhone.
What that does is it allows you to essentially set a window for when you're at work or when you're with friends or with family. And during that block of time that you can set, you won't get notifications from certain apps, but you can still get important calls and texts.
Al-Hidi says buying a physical alarm clock can also help.
The benefit of that is that you're not looking at your phone the first thing when you wake up and the last thing at night. You're not checking TikTok or Instagram one more time before you go to sleep, which usually eats up like an hour or more of time.
And finally, if there are certain apps that are tempting for you, remove them from your home screen or delete them altogether.
It sounds like a simple thing, but it's actually really, really helpful if it's kind of out of sight, out of mind.
Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Just keep that 4 News Now First Alert weather app on the home screen. Tomorrow, blue skies and sunshine, 37 to start the day, a high of 70. Coming up, I'll explain why that 37 might be harder on your plans than you might realize. That's after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The Memorial Day Super Sale at Furniture Row has been extended, and with trucks still rolling in, the savings keep getting better and better. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, plus 6 years, no interest. But hurry, the extended Memorial Day Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
The award-winning Spokane Valley Summer Theater presents its 2024 Divine Season 9, Rodgers and Hammerstein's epic romantic classic South Pacific, running June 21st through July 7th. And the most successful rock and roll musical of all time, Buddy, the Buddy Holly story, running July 26th through August 11th. Single and season tickets available now at sbsummertheater.com or call 509-368-7897.
Exploring different regions throughout the Northwest and beyond can be fun and educational. 4 News Now would like to showcase these locations with Travel for Adventures.
Are you ready for an unforgettable adventure? Look no further than the Lewis Clark Valley.
Start with a narrated jet boat ride on the Snake River through Hell's Canyon, North America's deepest river gorge. Cruise by rugged basalt cliffs, surrounded by a variety of wildlife and ancient petroglyphs.
After your day of adventure, explore the Northwest's first wine-growing region. Wind down and relax among the vines while you sip a variety of award-winning wines. Indulge your taste buds with fresh cuisine at a charming, locally owned restaurant.
Immerse yourself in an authentic cultural experience with the Nez Perce. Dive into the past and drive the historic Lewis and Clark Trail following the same rivers they did.
Experience the perfect blend of adventure and relaxation in the Lewis Clark Valley.
Discover more places you might like to visit. Go to kxly.com/travel4adventures.
Global Credit Union serves the men and women of our armed forces stationed around the world.
We're proud to honor our military members by wearing red on Friday.
RED stands for Remember Everyone Deployed, and 4 News Now and Global Credit Union are inviting you to wear red on Fridays too.
Show your support for the men and women of our armed forces.
Tell them and their families thank you for their service and for protecting our future. Stop by any Global branch and pick up a red pin.
And then remember to wear red every Friday from now until September 11th.
The Memorial Day Super Sale at Furniture Row has been extended. And with trucks still rolling in, the savings keep getting better and better. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, plus 6 years, no interest. But hurry, the extended Memorial Day Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Okay, we're talking about 37 degrees being an important number to consider tonight.
Yeah, because of the frost warning with some of your sensitive plants and whatnot. We're going to send it over to Chris Crocker now with a look at that first alert forecast.
You know, we talk a lot about 32 degrees, magic number when things freeze, at is freezing, but temperatures higher than that can still be damaging to plants, and I'll explain in a moment. First, I want to show you the frost advisory again for the area shaded in blue on your screen. A freeze warning for the Northeast mountains, the valleys there where temperatures will get down in many locations below that magic 32-degree number, but there's a threat of frost throughout much of the rest of the region. Here's a look at some of the forecasted lows. These are just a few spots. Of course, there's all sorts of microclimates, and you may live in one of them, an area that gets a little bit colder than the rest of your county or region, and so you are more prone to see that frost. Deer Park is one of my favorite examples. There's Blanchard. Some spots out in Cheney and Spangle get a lot colder than other locations, and so tonight is one of those nights where we need to be watching that. And again, we see a lot of 37s on the map. That is the number that we watch, and here is why. The forecast is for the air temperature. We want to give you the forecast where your face and head and your doing most of your living, and the air right above the surface where the temperature is forecasted, and that's where we take the temperature to keep our records as well, takes longer to cool down than the surface where your plants are living. It cools down first, it cools down faster, so it may be 37 degrees in the white box with the ventilation at the airport on a grassy surface where we take the official temperature for Spokane, but down on the ground where your plants are in Spokane Valley, it may be closer to freezing, and that is why we have that frost advisory across the region. And I've had many emails over my 26 years here of people who have been taken off guard by a frost and lost their plants, and they are so bummed, and so that is why we really make a big deal out of a frost. And these are this morning's lows, and you can see a hard freeze in the northern valleys, but a lot of locations very much in that 37-degree and colder range, even though you were above freezing, and that can take a toll on your plants. Just want to share this picture again from Lynn Nordhagen of her solution in Chattaroy. There's zinnias underneath those baskets and boxes and cans, and we do have warmer nights ahead after tonight. And so you can take those to the recycling, Lynn, and then the plants are rewarded for their tenacity of making it through the cold with some wet weather on the way for Monday, and then some warm, sunny weather as we get into the middle of next week. We've got 80s in the forecast.
I also love that picture. We had to share it one more time. And I'm really thinking about all those Amazon boxes and what we can do with them. Way to reuse them. Hey, this weekend you can experience a day in the life of a firefighter by attending Demo Day.
Spokane County Fire District 9 is hosting the annual event this Saturday. 4 News Now's Allison Martinez gives us a sneak peek.
We all know about the brave work firefighters do on a daily basis, but have you ever wanted to watch it up close and personal? Well, this weekend you can at Demo Day. Car extractions, rescue demonstrations, and CPR training.
Hands right over the middle of his chest. Right.
That's just a taste of everything your family can experience at Demonstration Day 2024.
The community can just mingle through and take a look at all the different booths. We'll be having those different activities. It's a great hands-on event for the kids.
Firefighters from District 9 are getting ready to open their station doors to the public.
We want to give kind of the best show or demonstration of what we do to the community.
The event is a rare opportunity to interact with first responders without dialing 911.
So it really gives us an opportunity to kind of front load the experience and what to expect when they do have the fire department arrive on scene, whether it's an automobile accident or an emergency that's medical of nature. It gives us an opportunity to have that interaction with us in advance.
Firefighters from Spokane County Fire District 9 are excited to meet you and show you what their job is really all about.
I still remember as a little kid coming to these and events like this, and it sticks in their minds. It stuck in my mind as a little kid. So it's awesome to spend time with the little kids and really inspire them for whatever their future holds.
It's all happening this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with Spokane County Fire District 9. For more details, you can go to our website, kxly.com. Reporting in Meade, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
So fun. Thank you, Allison. Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
At Numerica, you'll find money answers for street ballers. Get money answers for you and only you. Learn more at numericacu.com.
Right now, there's just so much happening in our world.
And so much happening.
Right here in the Northwest.
Making sense of it all, that's not always so easy. And that's where we come in.
Good Morning Northwest and Good Morning America.
We're right here, and we got you.
We got you, Northwest.
We invite you to experience excellence. Choose George Gee Kia Spokane. Shop us and you'll see we have
the best team in the Pacific Northwest.
George Gee Kia Spokane is locally owned and family operated. Located in Liberty Lake, just off I-90. At George Gee Kia Spokane, our mission is to exceed your expectations. We look forward to helping you find your new Kia. Visit the George Gee Kia team in Liberty Lake off I-90 or online anytime at SpokaneKia.com.
It's been another great year for our Diamonds and Dreams program. Gary Middle School, the recipient of this year's work, new backstops, new safety fences, and of course, the new field. The 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
Are you ready to light it up, Spokane? Experience the all-new Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party, featuring outrageous Monster Trucks action, including the electrifying freestyle motocross, spectacular laser lights, and the fire-breathing transforming robot, Transaurus. Plus the pre-show VIP and crash zone before each performance. And kids' seats start at just $12. Come watch your favorite Hot Wheels Monster Truck toys come to life. June 22nd and 23rd at Spokane Arena. Tickets available at SpokaneArena.com.
The Memorial Day savings have been extended at all Walker's Furniture stores with big holiday discounts on all your favorite brands. Get the biggest savings of the season or take advantage of 5 years no-interest financing.
During these final days at Walker's.
We've got money answers for people who run once a year. Get money answers for you and only you. Learn more at numericacu.com.
The eyes of the world on the Trump trial.
Next, Inside Edition. This woman was in the jury pool before she got dismissed. What she's saying about the trial.
I don't predict that this will be an easy deliberation process.
And how she would have voted. Then, the search for the killer of the soap opera star. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Well, coming up tonight on Nightside, former President Donald Trump found guilty by a Manhattan jury. The response from the Biden administration coming up tonight at 11 o'clock.
Thanks so much for joining us for 4 News Now at 6.
All right, we'll see you at Nightside at 11.